Welcome to Positively Spiritual. Wow. Hello. Hi, Resistor. Hi, Cynthia. Nice to see everyone. Hello. Hugs to all of you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. Cynthia says, hi there. I'm early. Yeah. Yay. You guys are waiting for me. Going through my recipe file spread out across my living room floor. Awesome. And Resistor says, I need to do that. You guys collect recipes? That's awesome. I have 4 loaded file folders filed. I'm a recipe hoarder. I'm dividing them up now into separate folders and weeding out the ones I no longer use or interested in. It's a semi-mindless activity. It sounds like you're compartmentalizing and maybe going through some memories at the same time. Welcome. That's so cool. That's good. Sounds like a job. Sounds like a project, but it sounds like a fun one. So awesome. Awesome. So how are you guys all doing? Welcome to Positively Spiritual. And we've got a treat for you because today on Positively Spiritual, we're going to talk about the grandiosity within narcissism. Is this really a belief? Do they really believe that they are that dang good? Or are they really good at pretending? Hello, Diane. Nice to see you. It's so good to see you. How are you? So is the narcissist just pretending at this grandiosity? Like, do they really believe they're SHIT don't stink? Are they that delusional because no one can be that good, right? Let me just turn up the volume here. There we go. Now we're cooking with heat. All right. So join me today, Shannongilmour at Positively Spiritual, for another insightful video as we pull back the curtain to reveal a truth that is shocking but may not be all that surprising. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for dropping by. Your visit to this channel is most welcome. Again, I am Shannongilmour and I am your host. I am a peer support mentor. I am an author providing you supportive answers that will help navigate your healing in the direction that you need to go. This channel helps you to stay focused, grounded, and in alignment in the direction of your true self. And how you do that is by diving in and getting down to business with your healing. And this is what we do. This channel is here to help you get to work by delivering to you the information that you need that provides you answers. Answers from a scientific, psychological, and spiritual perspective. So if you're ready to unpack the behaviors of narcissism, then let's go. Let's do this, because it's important we begin in this video by looking into the grandiose nature of the narcissist. Oh, hello. This is one psychological behavior that is not hard to notice, but it is confusing. Yeah, they leave us confused, dazed and confused. So, while the narcissist may appear arrogant, entitled, self-assured, beneath all of that self-assurance, bravado, underneath all of that exterior is a deep, deep, persistent, sense of inadequacy and shame. Excuse me. Excuse me. This core, excuse me. Oh, fine. Excuse me. There we go. This core shame isn't always visible because narcissists use grandiosity, manipulation, and control to cover it up. And I think they even use this grandiosity as a form of control to cover up even from themselves. This defense mechanism is known as the false self, a fabricated persona designed to gain approval, admiration, or power to avoid confronting the fragile, wounded core. So here's how this manifests in a subtle way. The narcissist, well, they can't tolerate criticism. Even minor constructive feedback. Now, again, just because you can't handle feedback doesn't make you a narcissist, okay? But narcissists hide behind this because this is what's really happening. They hide behind the grandiosity because this is what happens. They cannot tolerate criticism, even minor constructive feedback, because it threatens their false self and triggers buried shame. See, oftentimes we confuse ourselves with the narcissist. Am I the narcissist? Because a lot of times we can't ourselves take constructive criticism. We can't take that kind of feedback because it does threaten ourselves. But we don't turn to grandiosity and say, who do they think they are? How dare they? We're just like, it wounds us. Oh, 3. Ooh, did you guys see that? Ooh. Hi, Joe. Okay. There's no dust particles or anything floating around here. Like, no. That was no dust particle. You saw that one, right? That's no dust particles, people. I don't have dust particles flying around my face. I don't see any dust particles here. I don't feel it. Nah. See, if there was dust particles, I could move these books and there'd be stuff flying, right? Right? I mean, okay, that's dust particles. That's dust particles. That's from my books. But I just had this book out. I read it not too long ago. Okay. Okay. We just tested that theory. Blew that theory all to heck. All right. And we just let it settle. I need to go one by one to my books and dust them off. All right. But now that it's settled, where is that coming from? Because I'm not... Whatever. I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, I got dusty books. Okay, I gotta... But you saw me bang the heck out of them, right? Wow. Okay, whatever. If you guys can put up with it, I can put up with it. And I will be dusting my shelves after this video. Embarrassing, but it's okay. We'll get through it. See, that's kind of like constructive criticism. Shannon, dust your shelves. And it's like, I visit these books frequently. They're on and off my shelves all the time. So how could they get dusty, right? Hi, Jeanette. Nice to see you. So love means listening to our speaker as we let God speak to us. Aw, you're so sweet. Okay, so back to this. Constructive criticism. See, a narcissist, if a narcissist would to bang their books together and have the dust fly, they'd be like, dust? That's not dust. I don't need to dust my shelves. They'd be so offended, right? Somebody say, Shannon, dust those shelves. Come on, girl. Come on. I'd be like, if I was a narcissist, I'd be like, nah, I wouldn't. I'd be taking offense to that. But no, that's life. It's fine. Now I know. Now I know. Anyways, moving on. So the narcissists, they actually project their flaws onto others, accusing others of what they themselves do to protect their ego. I could blame shift and say, oh, Scarlett should have been dusting these shelves. No, it's on me. I read these books, it's on me, but it's fine. But another thing is that they also envy other people's success or happiness, not because they want what others have, but because deep down they believe they're not good enough to have it themselves. They vacillate between superiority and inferiority, needing constant validation, while secretly feeling empty or worthless when not in control of the narrative. So this hidden shame becomes chronic and often stems from early emotional trauma, such as neglect or inconsistent parenting, where the child learns that the love is conditional and tied to performance, maybe their appearance or maybe obedience. In adulthood, the narcissist becomes trapped in a lifelong performance to outrun this shame. But it's always there, just beneath the surface. Hello, Joe. How you doing? Whoa, camera picks up very small things you can't see with the naked eye. Exactly, resistor. Hi, Jeanette. How you doing? Hi, Joe. You should see the interior of my camper. I just don't have the stamina to address the mess. No kidding. Like, it happens. It's fine. It's home. It's comfy. It's okay. But the thing is, I'm not moving now. Like, there's no dust flying. Oh, come on. Are you serious? Like, really? Like, there's no dust on this table. There's no dust on the walls. So, like, really? Something's going on here. It can't all be dust. No, that one was sparkly. It can't all be dust. It can't all be dust. I'm not going to take it all as dust because I don't see any dust. Anyways, whatever. All right. So, seeing the signs of chronic shame in a narcissist requires emotional intelligence, discernment, and sometimes painful honesty. Narcissists are masters at hiding their shame behind a mask of superiority or charm. But if you know what to look for, you will recognize the signs. You'll see them. They're there. Learning to recognize and respond to this hidden shame can help you to detach yourself emotionally from the narcissist. And that's extremely important because detaching yourself emotionally from the narcissist is how you protect yourself from them. And that's how you can navigate the relationship more wisely and streamline it into your favor. Your kitchen is completely smoke damage free finally. Awesome, Joe. I'm clapping quietly. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't think some of this is not dust. No one's gonna convince me some of this is not dust. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But we need to stay on topic of this video, right? We're not here chasing angels. So how do we spot chronic shame in a narcissist? Well, there's the hypersensitivity to criticism. They overreact to mild feedback or perceived slights. Even neutral comments can trigger rage. It can trigger their withdrawal or even blame shifting. Signs of shame They perceive criticism as a threat to their worth. Number 2, perfectionism and image control. They obsess over appearances, how they look, how others perceive them, or maintaining a certain brand of success. The signs of this type of shame: they believe they are only lovable if they appear flawless. Number 3, deflection and blame shifting. When something goes wrong, they rarely take accountability. Instead, they deflect responsibility and blame others. Signs of shame is admitting fault would actually collapse their fragile self-image. Yeah, don't tell them they're ugly. Wow, big mistake. Exactly. Well, I mean, we wouldn't go tell them that anyways, but you know, if you tell them that their shirt doesn't look right or their socks don't match their shorts, they're gonna freak out, you know. Wearing wearing flip-flops with the toe, you know, that little where it separates your big toe from the rest of your toes, those flip-flops in white socks. Yeah, the narcissist doesn't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I mean, there isn't anything wrong with that if that's what you want to do, but I mean, a narcissist would tell us that looks kind of dorky or kind of off-putting or kind of looks unappealing, and then they do it and it's suddenly fine, you know. So they project their insecurities. They accuse others of the very things that they fear in themselves. They go around telling people, "Oh, you're selfish." Other people are inadequate or controlling, but no, not them. And this is a sign of shame. Its projection helps them offload their internal pain because they are selfish, they're inadequate, and they're controlling. And they don't see that you get out of life what you give back to life. There's this emotional reactivity from the narcissist, or the cold detachment, the cold shoulder. Hello, Mohammed. Nice to see you. Meanwhile, he dressed like a bum. Yeah, they are so fragile, says Cynthia. Yes. They talk about people's looks all the time. Yes, they do. So this sign of shame, of this emotional reactivity or this cold detachment is, well, they're not processing emotions because they can't. So they're protecting themselves from perceived annihilation. So when they're exposed, they shut down completely, or they might rage. Now we know this one: love bombing followed by devaluation. They idealize people who mirror back admiration, but quickly devalue them when they feel emotionally threatened. The sign of shame is this: that they need constant validation to feel okay. But no one can sustain that illusion for long. Like, you have to jump through hoops to please anybody, let alone a narcissist. So how do we respond with clarity and strength? Like, how do we do this without feeling the backlash that we're fearing? Well, don't try to fix their shame. Their shame is a deeply rooted survival strategy, and you can't love it out of them or reason it away. So your response is just best to let go of the rescuer role. Like, just, I know it's uncomfortable, but when they're in a bad mood, it's not your job to get them out of that bad mood. When something isn't going right in their life, it's not your job to right the wrong. So learn to just tell yourself, that is not mine to fix. That, not my problem. Number 2, use boundaries like armor. Shame-based narcissists will push boundaries to avoid their pain. Hold your limits without emotional reactivity. So what do? your response? Stay calm, assertive, and detached. Number 3, detach emotionally from their behavior. Don't take their projections or attacks personally. It's not about you. It's about what they're running from inside. And this response, how you respond to this is you just anchor yourself in your own truth and your own identity. So try to find yourself outside and inside the narcissist relationship. So, start doing things for you. Start responding to them as how, if you can take your awareness, this is kind of hard at initially, but if you can take your awareness and step outside of the situation, and if you can address the narcissist and address yourself from you being your own best friend, standing and watching things go the way that they go inside the narcissistic relationship, you can just say, what would your, say the narcissist is having a really funky day, and they're just at the kitchen table, and they're just bemoaning and complaining, and you can just kind of step outside of yourself. And boy, if this were happening to my best friend and I was present for this, how would I deal with this? I'd be like, oh, don't you need to go make that phone call? Don't you need to excuse yourself because you got to make that phone call? Isn't it time to go to the store and go shopping? Or isn't it time to maybe change the subject? So this is what you can do for yourself, is to try to take care of yourself by communicating yourself in an authentic way. And basically, you changing the subject tells the narcissist, or tells you, I don't deserve this kind of feedback. Or altering the situation by saying to the narcissist, oh, please excuse me from the table. I have to go make a phone call. Oh, I'm running late. I need to go get some groceries before my meeting starts at 2 p.m. So, yeah, so do things that nurture yourself as much as, excuse me, we're learning how to communicate with the narcissist better. It's also about having to communicate with ourselves better. So detach emotionally from their behavior. Don't take their projection or attacks personally. It's not about you. It's about what they're running from inside. Oh, I gotta plug in my battery. Hang on a second. Oh, that still won't do it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer so I can. There we go. Now it's plugged in. My cord, you have to plug it in a certain way or else it won't charge. Go figure. Anyways, so now we're charging. All right, so you got to detach from the narcissist emotionally because their behavior will sting you. So don't take their projections or attacks personally. It's not about you. It's about what they're running from inside of themselves. So your response is to anchor yourself in your own truth and identity. Don't absorb it. Observe it, sure, but don't absorb it. And name the pattern to yourself. You don't always have to call out their behavior. Just name it to yourself, and, just seeing that shame, seeing their shame responses and how they're reacting to life. When you can see it and call it out for yourself, it helps you to stay grounded. But you don't always have to, say, you know what, relax. Keep your composure. What the heck's wrong with you today? You're so grumpy. My goodness, did somebody wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning? I think you need a do-over of this day. Oh my gosh, who wee weed in your Wheaties, like, no, we don't need to say stuff like that. The You know what? Their reaction is about their need to avoid shame. It's not about us. So just don't take the bait. Like, really, don't take the bait to engage with them. Number 5, avoid getting pulled into their shame spiral. If they start to blame others, they start that blame game, that just disengage. Don't defend, don't explain, and don't try to appease, because they might say, well, it's your fault. You kept me up all night because you were snoring, or you were so restless every time you moved, you stole the covers or whatever, or you were playing your music downstairs until all hours of the morning and I couldn't get to sleep, so it's your fault why I'm a little bit grumpy. And you know what? Don't defend, don't explain, don't try to appease. You can say, well, you know what? We can talk when this is more productive for both of us. Like, we could talk about this when we're not so, upset. When our tempers are a little bit more cool, we can certainly talk about this later. Number 6, protect your own sense of worth. Narcissists often pull others into a shame dynamic with them. Don't let their self-hate become your identity. Your response can be just to practice self-compassion, grounding and affirming who you are outside of their narrative. So, when narcissists pull others into a shame dynamic, when they blame shift, when they start comparing others to themselves, don't let their self-hate become your identity. Don't agree with them. Don't respond. Just practice self-compassion by saying, you know what? You can say in your mind, sucks to be you. I'm not absorbing this. I'm not doing this today. Just ground yourself in positive self-talk. I'm really beginning to believe that this positivity of I am whole, I am worthy, I am complete, I am good, I am worthy. These are strongholds. Like, these are strongholds that cannot be broken when we hang on to them. And it's like when you play tag, or tag, or even hide and go seek. And when the person couldn't find you, and everybody had to go to the go-to place, the home, what did we say? Ollie, ollie, oxen free, and we'd touch the home base so we wouldn't be found. And touching home base was the security where you were not the person who had to go seek the people who were hiding. So you still got to go hide from people, because that was the fun part of hide and go seek, is hiding from people. Well, that's what our affirmations are. They're the home base where you can just, go to that home space. I am worthy, and it doesn't change. Like, it prevents you from hanging on to and absorbing the narcissist to believe their narrative. When you stand in this positive affirmation, I am complete, I am worthy, God has made me fearfully and wonderfully. So who am I to listen to somebody else, because the narcissist didn't make me? So Who are they to tell me that I'm unworthy of anything? Who are they to compare themselves to me, since God made both of us and there's no person set above another in God's sight. There's no favorites. So who am I to absorb the narcissist's opinion? And guess what? Opinions are neither right or wrong. And that's how we can deflect. That's your opinion. For everything, you can say to the narcissist, that's your opinion. Thank you. That's your opinion. Thank you very much. That's your opinion. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's your opinion. Thank you very much for speaking your opinion. Thank you for letting me know of your opinion. When I ask for your opinion, if I wanted your opinion, I'll ask for it. There we go. Shut it down. Just shut them down. Don't believe their stuff. A narcissist's chronic shame is a hidden wound, but it's not your job to bandage it. So recognize their behavior and don't absorb their dysfunction. Awareness gives you power not to change them. Not to change them, but to protect, free, and rebuild yourself. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm still seeing floaters. So yeah, I'm going to be dusting my shelves. So I can't be around them, period. I know, right? It's just now that you see who the narcissist is, now that you see what narcissism is, I got it like something, a crumb or something on my phone screen. There we go. You really can't, like, I agree with that. You really can't stand to be around them, because you know what? You recognize you have nothing in common. Nothing in common. I did not see that with my naked eye. Wow. But the thing is, with narcissists, you truly understand you have absolutely nothing in common. There is no substance there with the narcissist to, like communication is, to share ideas, to share hopes and dreams, but also to learn and grow from each other. And you can't learn or grow from a narcissist. You learn negative, you don't learn anything positive. They're not a walking encyclopedia full of spiritual nuances. No, they're a walking encyclopedia that will tell you everything about everything you wanted to ever know about them. And then some. You're right, there's no depth to them at all. And it's almost annoying having to be in their company. It's annoying because it's like you realize it's just a waste of your time. That's all it is just they're wasting your time, taking your time away from learning about somebody else, learning about something like that enhances your own emotional and spiritual growth. They're just wasting your time. Do their demons know that? Absolutely. I think I've developed some physical issues because of narcissism. Absolutely, you have. Absolutely. Stress. Stress causes physical problems. And those physical ailments are many. Stress causes us a cortisol dump, cortisol release, and that's the stress hormone, which causes us to gain weight. Yeah. So our hormones are different under stress. And so we have to eat according to our hormones, meaning that, as we age, we have, hormonal depletion. Yes. So we have to eat according to those guidelines of what our body needs more of, less of, right? Well, when you're under stress, your body craves certain foods, and we have to be mindful of that. You know, before as we were just eating whatever we wanted, but now we have to be more mindful of what we're eating to keep ourselves healthier. And, those carbs, not going to do it anymore. It's those fruits and vegetables, complex carbs, not simple carbohydrates, but complex carbs that, have fiber in them, So, and we tend to, when we're stressed, we tend to eat more, and we're just shovel it in our faces. So there's a lot of things going on with that. Like with stress causes us to just hurry up and eat because we're in the fight or flight. So just grab something and go. Don't even, just give us the simple carbs because we need that quick fuel to run away, to flee. So, but we're not in the state of physical fleeing, we're in the state of emotional fleeing. So we're eating those simple carbs that spike our blood sugar really quickly. And then we crash and we're tired and we got to go take a nap. And we wake up and we're still stressed. But napping is the body's signal to say, okay, you're in safety, but your mind doesn't shut off. Your mind is still buzzing and going, zzz, zzz. It's short circuiting. And so you go grab more carbs. So yeah, exercise, drinking lots of water, eating healthy, doing doing stuff that is stress-free, like going for walks and exercising, maybe taking in a hobby, going for long drives, just listening to music, just sitting there, maybe crocheting, doing some type of arts and crafts. We're never too young, we're never too old to start arts and crafts. There are adult coloring books out there for you. Just go grab one and doodle. Just because it's about putting your mind in a safe space. It's about having your mind feel safe, because it's your mind and body that have to work together. And if one is going this way, the other one is going this way, you're being pulled in all directions and you're like, ah, ouch, that hurts. I can't go there, that hurts. I can't go in that direction, that hurts. I want to go this way, but your stress and your mind is going, no, we're going to go this way. So yeah, it's all higgledy-piggledy, just a mess. So yeah, so make sure you take your vitamins, eat healthy, get lots of sleep, drink lots of water, and stay away from the sugars and carbs. Stay away from that. So glow up is awesome. Away from them for real. Yeah. Finally feeling myself again is so relieving. I agree, Resistor. Beginning to look more like myself again too, says Cynthia. Awesome. Yeah. So Joe says, if I had known then what I know now, I would have never let her back in my life. But I have a daughter that I've always wanted to be in her life. Amen. That's right. I hear that too. If we knew then what we know now, we'd do things differently. But then we'd be different people though too. And what if what we know now, we couldn't have known then, because the only way we can know what we know now is to go through it. If we knew then what we know now, see, what we know now comes by experience. If we knew then what we know now but didn't have the experience, we wouldn't be better off. We wouldn't be the people that we are now. So, yeah, experience is a great teacher. It's the best teacher in the world. And yeah, we had to go through this. We had to. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. We had to, and we did it. You did it. You did it. And now you get to live your life in wisdom and in peace. See, our later years are supposed to be peaceful. But think about those people who lived their lives in peace at the beginning when they were teenagers, young adults. They're peaceful. Their lives just were hunky-dory. But they're blind to the fact of what is going on in life on the political front, on, the pharmaceutical front, the, academic front. And they're the people who are wanting things to stay in the peaceful state because they were never trained or prepared for the true fight. The true fight is what we're in, Revelation right now. Revelation is a revealing. And the Battle of Armageddon, and what that truly means is the battle of knowledge, the battle that reveals. What have we just gone through? What are we continuing to go through? It's this isn't fizzling out. You can't just, if truth is hidden, it's hidden because of lies. And now the lies are exposed to us, so you can't unhide the truth. We are truth tellers, and we will make sure, we are here to make sure that the truth is always seen. It's always told. It's like we're on to those people who wanted the peace, peace, peace. And what does God say? There is no peace. There's only peace when truth is told. We now have peace in our hearts. It's the people who were, it's so peaceful because they were living in delusion, living blind, and they want that blindness back because they don't know how to deal with the truth, because they were living in peace on a foundation of lies. And so now we have this knowledge, and we have this, this determination to live in peace according to how we want to live, according to the truth that we want to believe. There's no going back from that. There's no going back from that. And I'm glad that we suffered. Not that, suffering is roses and sunshine, but, I'm glad to be going through this with you guys because we suffered. We suffered. And that suffering was not in vain. That suffering has taught us a lot about ourselves, about each other, about life. And there's no going back from that. Like, we can't just, okay, this great awakening is over now. Let's just all settle. Let's just go back to the way things were. No, it's never going back to the way things were. And I'm thankful. There's no more hiding the lies. There's no more of that. And now that we know, it's like we get to call it out. We're the first responders. We are calling out the narcissism and calling it out for what it is, because it is the narcissist that has created the blind life that so many of our friends and family have been living and want that to continue. Oh, I love you too, Cynthia. So Joe says, if she didn't come back into my life, I would not have grown spiritually. She is playing a huge part in my salvation. Absolutely. So Resistor says, I went through many bad things, but healing from Narctard's abuse was the hardest of all. Exactly. And you know what? Because you're healed, you're healing, because you have gone through this and you survived, this shows you where you're going. This was the hardest thing of all. And you survived. And that tells you you're living forever, dude. We all are living forever. We're family. And we survived. We survived because we are the soldiers. We're the foot soldiers in God's army. And we went into this with a memory swipe. Like when we came to earth, our memories were wiped clean of where we come from. And that gave the enemy an advantage, but God is like, oh, my power is so great. Even though the enemy has an advantage, that advantage is going to amount to nothing. Because when my people start walking in my ways, when they start living in the truth, when they start seeing the truth, they're not going to leave it. They're not going to leave it. And this truth is going to give strength to their wounds. This truth is going to heal their wounds. My love comes with truth. So God was with us all the time. We just couldn't see it because we were so painfully blinded in lies. But we survived all of that. That's something to be proud of, that, wow, we survived, and all we had, well, not all we had, but like when you start healing, you're like, that's it. Because you start seeing the pain not as being painful, but as growth spurts. You start seeing how the pain at the end of it all, it matters, but it takes on a different meaning. Like it shapeshifts and just has a different meaning than what it once did. And it's pretty freaking awesome. Like, yeah, like we're confident now. You guys are so confident. You guys, there's nothing that you can't get through now. Seriously, there is nothing that you can't get through. You survived the narcissist. You survived the lies of the enemy. And lies that were meant to destroy you. And you're undefeated. God is undefeated. Through you, God is undefeated. And it's like the cartoon character with Yosemite Sam, where he's got this gun-toting, gun-slinging, gangster, mustache and beard, and and he just throws a fit when he can't get his way. When he can't catch Bugs Bunny, he just throws a fit. Oh, think of that. How the narcissists and the demons throw fits because they can't get to us. And now we've formed this big army. Like what the enemy created for bad purposes, the internet, God turned it around and used it for good. This is our talking points, where we get to use the internet to talk, to share. And this is how we forge our army. We're foot soldiers, and we may be scattered among the world, but it's the internet that brings us all together. We're the legion on on the YouTube. We're the legion on the web, World Wide Web, but we're scattered in different provinces, different countries, different states, different territories. We're all peppered here and there amongst the world, but that's okay. That doesn't matter, because we come together in large groups on the internet and we're rising. We're doing this. We've done it. Jesus did it. The war is over. The war is won. Jesus won the war. We just had to go through the battle. And we did it. You did it. So you get to wear that badge of courage. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing. The tools we learn here will literally keep you safe. Absolutely. Yeah. It will be a lifetime of healing. Never give up. Amen to that. Joe says, I'm still at the beginning of healing. This fellowship makes a big difference in recovery. Yeah, like, see, Paul says we're all at different spots. We're all here running the same race. See, I see this little thing right here, but all it is, oh, you guys can't see it on screen. All it is like a fiber floating in the air. That's all it was a fiber. Huh. It was right in front of my face. Weird. Anyways, yeah, I'm cleaning those shelves. But yeah, like I'm pretty freaking proud and honored and humbled at the same time to be used in this way on earth. You know, we look back on our lives and we think of the trauma, we think of the good times, we think of the bad times. And, you know, as kids, where we were drinking water from the water hose, playing outside until the outside lights came on, you know, not worrying about, we were too excited to come home for lunch or dinner. We were too excited to play and, you know, do it what it was that kids did back in the day. And you think about it, we were protected then. We were protected by God's holy army then. You know, like, I grew up in a small town, and my foster parents had a house built for them in a cul-de-sac. So our house was one of the first houses up. So in that area, it was still a developmental area for a few years. So, you know, 7 and 8 years old, 9 years old, running around the cul-de-sac, playing in the, you know, the dugouts where they were digging out the houses. We would play in those. And you know, they would teach us at school to, you know, safety courses. You know, we'd have in our health class, safety, don't play around farm machinery, and don't play in where there's construction, don't play in the construction zones, don't play where they're digging out the basements for homes, don't play in that. But we would play in that. We would go into the construction sites and run around, you know, the framed houses. We would run around with the, you know, the houses that were just had the wood structures up the frame and no siding or anything. We would play in that. And here, you know, the narcissist comes along and says, you can't do that. You're no good. You're a loser. You're nobody. Well, we sure didn't think that then when we were playing in the construction zones and out all day long without a cell phone by our side to let mom and dad know where we were. Our parents would be like, well, they'll come home. If they're hungry, they'll come home. They know where home is. They'll come home. Like, they weren't worried. Heck, I remember missing dinner time was at 6 o'clock, and I'd show up at 6:30 and everybody's sitting down at the table. Or sometimes I'd show up an hour later and then the table was cleared and I wouldn't eat dinner. Because it's like, no, you know what time to come home for dinner. You missed dinner, that's your problem. Maybe missing a few dinners because you're so hungry you haven't had anything to eat all day. Maybe you'll be home tomorrow on time for dinner then. And the narcissist in our adult life has the nerve to tell us what to do, what to say, how to think, and we survive that. Frick, we can survive anything. We have. We have survived the fallout of this great awakening of the lies being flooded at us, thrown at us. So healing? Yeah, we're healing, and we have every right to heal, and healing is going to come our way, how we want it, how we decide, how we dictate. And after we're healed, that's what healing is going to bring to us. No, it's our voice. We decide what we want. We decide how we take in that information. We decide what we want for ourselves, and nobody is ever going to boss us around again, because we're free. Because we've always been free. My mom had a big bell for us kids. She would ring it for dinner. 5 kids coming in all at once. Oh my gosh. So, well, your hair is still intact. That's a blessing. Mine is disappearing quickly. Yeah. So, Resistor says, Narctars just go through the steps they learned. We make the steps we take. Yeah. Yeah, we did all of that. We would get lost in cornfields. Yeah, we would, wouldn't we? Get lost in those cornfields and have fun and pretend somebody's chasing us and oh no, and we're hiding. And yeah, we would make fun. We would make it fun. We would make the best out of a bad situation. And see, narcissists teach us to lose that childlike creativity to turn things around, whereas as children, your brother or sister may say, you know what, you're not Superman or Superwoman, You're like, yes, I am. Look, I'm going to jump off the couch, the arm of the couch, I can fly. You really felt it. Like when you jumped off the arm of that couch, you didn't go very far, but in your heart, you flew because you felt what it was like to fly. You were on top of the world. You could scale the tallest mountain on that top of the arm of the chair. And in 2.2 seconds, your feet were down on the floor after you jumped off. But that's okay. That's all it took. 2.2 seconds, that's all it took for your heart to feel like it was flying. And the narcissists take that away from us. So we're here to get it back, and we have. We got it back. We learned to reframe. We learned to take the bad and turn it around and use it for our favor. When we're having bad feeling, a bad thought, we look at it and we say, okay, what is this feeling trying to teach us? What is this feeling trying to teach me? What is this feeling trying to say about the situation that I'm not seeing? What is this feeling trying to show me about me that I'm not seeing? Am I really in danger here with this feeling? Or is this feeling more about sadness? Is this feeling really about letting go? Or is it really about feeling, resentment? We get to name our feelings. We get to look at our feelings. We get to see ourselves through the lens of feelings that we as kids don't understand. So our feelings are a way for us to understand ourselves and stay in touch with ourselves. I've been so triggered since Mother's Day. My daughter with a flat out abuser who is threatening her. Oh my gosh. Hearing about all the abuses getting to me, hindering my healing process. Oh my goodness. Is your daughter getting help? Like, is she in therapy? Is she still with him? Joe says, I used to climb to the top of the tree in our backyard. Excuse me, sorry. I would I would see the city from where we lived. Oh, isn't that an awesome feeling? So, yes, she's still with him, chasing him. She's in therapy. It's not helping. Oh my gosh. So, what kind of hold does he have on her? I'd look for that. I'd look for that. Like, is it an emotional identity? Is it sex? Um, is it financial? Like, find out what the hold is that he has over her and try to, maybe even if she's in therapy, get her to address that with her therapist that, okay, like, I just want to, like, have her sit in the therapist with the therapist and have her verbally say, I want to explore what types of holds narcissists have on us, like, or what type of hold he has on me, why I can't let go. Because narcissists latch onto our main insecurity and they monopolize that, right? So if it's a financial need, the narcissist will use that. If it's an emotional need where you need, you know, um, to be seen, you need to be heard, you need to be loved and taken care of in the way of emotions, the nurturing, we often, especially women, we often associate sex with love. And if the narcissist is nurturing in sexual, physical way, we then, that's not fluff. That's not dust. That was not dust. But as I was saying, if we feel like we are having our emotional needs met through sex, then it is difficult to let go. So I know. I've spoken to her numerous times, nothing sinks in. No, and it may be that she's going to have to figure this out on her own, and all you can do is be there for her when she decides, I need my mom. I need my mom. And all you can do is be there for her and help her through it when that happens. And you're guaranteed it will happen. You know it will happen. That's not lint, guys. That's not dust. Wow. So I'm afraid he is going to physically hurt her. But I have to hear about it every day and night. Yeah, you saw that too, right? Yeah, yeah. So, um, detach your feelings, Cynthia. It's not your fight. I know it's really hard, and it is going to call up things, and you can use that as uh, a pivot board, a pivotal, you can use that to pivot yourself in the direction of your healing too. And you can just say, if, you know what, girl, I want to be there for you, but right now this is triggering some stuff for me. So if you want to talk to me about this, I'm wanting to heal from my triggering wounds. So if you want to talk to me about this, I feel like we need to talk about this together. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to talk and listen and you know, come together and have us both heal and have a healthy conversation about this? Because you're kind of preaching to the choir, girl. Like, daughter, you're kind of preaching to the choir here. I've been through this and it hurts and it's still hurting me. And even though I don't want to hear this anymore, I'm trying to heal. I want to be there for you. So if you're going to talk to me about this, please allow me to be there for you. Don't shut me out. Like, let's really have this conversation where we can listen to each other. So I don't know if that will help, but I mean, you know how to word it. You know how to best, you know, speak your feelings. But that's kind of what I would be saying is like, if I had Scarlett or a friend come to me and it was triggering me, I'd be like, you know what, this is triggering me too. And are you open to hear some positive feedback? Are you open to hear some feedback on this? Are you talking to me because you just want to vent, or are you talking to me because you want some, you know, feedback? Because I've been through this, I'm still going through this, and I'm willing to help you because this is helping me as well. But I can't do this by myself. I need your help. If you're wanting to talk to me, I'm here for you. But I'm not just your sounding board. I've been through this and I know how hurtful it is. And this is striking up triggers for me. And that's okay. But as much as you need my help, I need your help in this too. So can we come together on this? Can we talk? Can we really talk? That might help. Jeanette says, on my listening to our intuitions is not always easy. Praying for peer pressure guidance for ourselves, children and grandchildren and friends. Great advice, Shannon. Yeah, praying is essential. Absolutely. Great advice. Great advice, Jeanette. Yeah. So if she's not listening, she's not ready for the truth. Absolutely. So, okay, so she's not ready for it, Cynthia, then yeah, all you can do is pray. All you can do is be there for her. And if she's not ready to hear the truth, then maybe you can just, you know what? How would you word it? You know, like, ask to talk about something else. You know, honey, I would love to be there for you. I am here for you, but I'm afraid that you're not ready to deal with this yet. And if that's the case, how can I'm your mother and I'm sitting here listening to this and I feel helpless because you're sharing this with me, but I can't do anything about it because you're not receptive to that yet. And I get it and I understand, but I'm here when you are receptive. I'm here for you when you're ready for help. So and that's the thing. We don't see it ourselves, but when we were in your daughter's position, as we all were, we would talk to people, but we wouldn't do anything about it. We wouldn't do anything to help ourselves. We would talk and we wouldn't let anybody help us. We would we would listen to the advice, but we wouldn't take it because we couldn't yet see it. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired before you actually just say enough. So, yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't take it. Exactly. We wouldn't take the advice. So, she's got to go through this for as long as it takes to get her to see it. So, because that's what happened with us. Everybody has their limits on what they're willing to take and what they're willing to go through. And we all think we're strong, and we are. We're strong for enduring it, but we endure it longer than what we need to or have to. And I guess that's just human nature. We complicate things. And we like to complicate things. We like to give ourselves problems. So I pray she will be safe. My mother lost her life to an abuser. As I've shared here, my mind goes to the worst outcome, my trauma. Yeah. And with prayer, we pray that God steps in because we're the people that stop this generational curse. So you know yourself, you're not blinded to what's going on with your daughter. You're going to see signs of abuse, whether you want to see it or not. You are seeing it. So you're alerted to it. Your soul is hyper vigilant to it because you're going to protect your baby at all costs. So it's not like she's, you're well aware of other situations in your family dynamics of past and present. So you're on top of it. So what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to, in my way, reassure you that you're not going to let that happen, and God's not going to allow that to happen either. God will, because you're including her in your prayers, your daughter in your prayers, that God is going to give you insight. Trust that he will give you insight before anything disastrous will happen. A mother knows. A parent always knows. And so you're going to be well aware. You're going to have your feelers out, and she's coming home, right? To live for after her schooling, or is her schooling over? So you're going to be seeing her more often, and you're going to be having those feelers. Oh, she's home now. So you've got, your spirit is in tune to her. So you're going to be feeling whether she says something, if it's wrong or not, whether she lets you know or not. You're going to be, as a mother, in tune to that. And you're going to be able to ask those important questions, those right questions. Honey, is there anything going on? Is there anything that you want to tell me? Or, I'm sorry if I feel like, or I'm sorry that maybe you feel like I'm not available to you, but I just wanted to let you know that I am. You can talk to me about anything. I'm not going to judge you. I'm here for you. I'm here to help when and if you want it. Okay? I don't want to push myself on you, but I'm just here. I just want you to know that. And that's enough. And God will prompt you. Go talk to her about this situation. Because I've been there myself. I've told you guys that God told me about somebody I was praying for, Jason. And God told me some secret things that Jason never told me. And God wanted me to tell him. So that would have prevented his suicide, and I stayed silent. So I'm telling you, God will warn you. God will tell you. And you're just like Hannah, like we read in scripture last night. Hannah was speaking to God. No words were coming out, but it was her soul. Well, your soul is just going to blurt out. Jesus says, don't worry about what you're going to say before the magistrates. The Holy Spirit will tell you what to say. So just submit to the Holy Spirit. When you submit to the Holy Spirit and you're in front of your daughter, in front of that person who you need to have those difficult conversations with, and you need to be, let them know that you're open to discussions when they're ready. You just kind of submit yourself, and the Holy Spirit speaks, and speaks the right thing, because you speak in love, unconditional love. God is always with you. You take God with you wherever you go. So there's no need to worry. There's no need to worry. If God be for us, who can be against us? God saved us from harm from the narcissist. Yeah, when we come out of it and we start healing, that harm only feels like a slap on the wrist. But when we're feeling that slap on the wrist, it feels like it's just torture. But like I burned my knuckle the other day on getting something out of the oven, and for hours later it stung, and it was just like gnawing at me. It was just like, oh. But now it's like, what burn? It was just a little red mark on my knuckle here. But when it happened, it felt like my whole body was being tortured. It was like all I could think about is like, should I run this underwater? Am I going to get a big honking blister? Am I, but that's kind of what narcissism does to us, and the abuse from narcissism. It makes us feel like we are tortured, because we are. When we're in it, we're tortured. But when we come out and we start healing, we're like, well, it doesn't seem so bad now. And so that's because God was with us. God is with us. And God even warns us when we're in the trauma, when we're enduring it. God warns us, and it's him who says, okay, that's kind of enough now. That's enough. I'm not gonna let you endure anymore. That's enough. And he starts opening our eyes. It isn't us that has the eye-opener revelation saying, okay, I've had enough. It may feel like that, but it's the light inside of you that says, no, I'm putting the brakes on. You've had enough. And so when God says to us inside of us saying, you've had enough, that's when we say, oh, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm not dealing with this anymore. You've been too forceful. Oh, no, don't say sorry, Cynthia. No sorries allowed. No apologies accepted. Because that's what this chat room is here for. This chat room is here for helping. That's why we're here, to help one another. So, yeah, I have to go take her to an appointment now. Thank you so much for this. I am going to go back and listen again. All right, well, you know what? This perfect time to end this video. And my stomach is growling. She's got to go louder and louder and said, feed me. So all that talk of food earlier, carbs and sugar, chocolate. Anyways, I'm going to go eat a proper lunch. And you guys enjoy your afternoon, and I will see you back here at 10 o'clock in the evening Eastern. We are here twice a day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evening Eastern time. So if you guys want to get your fix on 2 live videos a day, each video is different. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support by giving this video a thumbs up, clicking the notification bell to be alerted when we put lives on, or I post up a video, a short, a podcast, a post, whatever. You'll be notified. You'll be notified in your notification bell of what we do on this channel. So thank you so much for your subscriptions. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe if you would, please. That would help. That would help get this video and this video channel to the eyes and ears who need to see this. Our fellow brethren and brothers and sisters in arms who are enduring narcissistic abuse and they don't know how to work out their trauma. So this video channel is for you and is for them. So let's support this channel. Let's support each other in the ways that we can. Take this knowledge and apply it out there into your circle of friends and to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror every day. Stop ignoring yourself and look at yourself in the mirror when you wash your face, when you're in your bathroom, getting changed, getting dressed, having your shower, having your bath. You inspect your moles. Well, start inspecting your eyes. Look deep into your eyes in the mirror. Stop avoiding your eyes. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Try that for a week and come back here and let us know how that has changed you for the better. That's my time. I love you all. God bless. See you soon. Enjoy your day. Thank you, everyone. I love you.